straight into doing very kind of, not just physically intimate things, but very emotionally intimate things. And I remember very early on, you know, as soon as we met, really, we you know, if you're lucky, you meet someone just in real life, not just as actors, but you sort of immediately click and feel like you can share things, and you have enough shared, you know, experience to kind of connect. And we definitely had that, I think. And I think that was made more extreme by the knowledge that, well, we're going to do this show and it's about this stuff, and we need to become very comfortable with each other very quickly. And that we were just very fortunate, I think, that did happen.
Absolutely. And the longer, I mean, yeah, 4 years since it ended, so 8 or 9 years since it started, which is so crazy to me. That just, yeah, it's mind-blowing. And I don't know why I assumed that we would just vibe and get along immediately, which we did, but God, that could have
it could have gone really badly wrong.
Really bad. I mean, like the worst.
Yeah.
That would have been, if that wasn't there, if that wasn't our baseline, that would have been like, that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
I think of the things that we've seen together, and yeah, if you had to do that with somebody that you really couldn't stand, basically I just miss breathing my breakfast burrito breath on you at 6 a.m.
One of the things I think that helped that as well, and this relates to, you know, what I learned from Lizzy, was that I on set can be quite unlikable. I can be a pain in the ass. I take things very seriously, even though I'm, I think, quite funny generally. But when I'm working, I can get overly serious and earnest and intense about things. And Lizzy made me laugh constantly when we were doing it, and that kind of, I think that really helped. It kind of loosened me up a lot, and it allowed me to be a bit more playful with the character, even though the character was all those things as well. The actual working experience was hugely enjoyable, and not just the working experience, but also I think it bled into the show. I think the direction that the character went in for me was as a direct response to that. I think it's a feeling like having the edges knocked off me and the screws loosened a little bit that Lizzy sort of did to me. I think that sort of translated into the character a bit.
You are a delight. That's fantastic. It took you 4 years to say that to me. Yeah, I think that probably mine is a bit of the flip side of that. I learned how to take it more seriously. I came from a comedy background, and it's like behind the monitors between takes, it's just as important to have like the best zinger off camera, and it's exhausting. I realized like how much energy I zapped by doing that, and I just learned to take it more seriously while still having lots of room to have a good time. We had a really good time on that show. Probably took it for granted a little bit, but I do miss it. I think about it. I mean, any new job, like to just show up and know that your partner is going to be prepared, whatever, but like to bring something surprising, and it's you're going to feel something in every scene, and that is not a given in this.
Yeah, and also I think we have to say that Michelle Ashford, who was the head writer, played a large part in that she allowed us to be so collaborative, and along with Caitlin Fitzgerald as well. That we were able to kind of discover things in the playing of scenes that then directly fed into where these characters went and where the relationships went. So, for instance, very early on, the relationship between Bill and his wife, Libby, played by Caitlin, was sort of seen as a kind of fairly two-dimensional thing, and it was in the playing of the scenes that suddenly there was this extra sort of depth that came into it, and that it went off in really surprising directions, and that then obviously informed what happened with that character. And for us, that was, I felt like that was the case all the time. Everything that those characters did and the journey they went on was as a result mainly of what we discovered in the actual moment of playing the scenes. And then we would sort of talk about it, and Michelle would be watching it obviously as well. And it just informed everything. So we went in, I felt, very surprising directions with those characters in that relationship, and took risks and discovered things that you would never be able to discover if you didn't have actors who had a good relationship like that, but also a showrunner, a head writer who was open to that, because that's quite scary, to let the characters sort of tell you where it's going. It's very different to how a lot of TV is.
Yeah, absolutely. She was amazing in doing that. And just, we were so, and everybody on that show was very hyper-focused.
Right.
There was no, like, now, I don't know if it's just a product of getting a bit older, but your job sort of fits into your greater life. But that was just, Masters of Sex for me was like all in, all I thought about, on set, off set, like it was a fully all-encompassing experience. So thank God it was collaborative.
For both of your characters on your current shows, even though the shows are scary in a lot of ways,